The Pentagon is reinstalling a portrait of Confederate General Robert E. Lee at West Point Military Academy. The Army's communications director says, quote, "Under this administration, we honor our history and learn from it. We don't erase it."
Okay. This is insane. Okay, so history lesson for the kids at home and some of the adults as well.
We go.
So West Point is the nation's premier military academy. After the Civil War, where the Confederates lost,
They lost the war.
They lost the war. I think that's a very important thing here. The people who were members of the, obviously, military and who fought with the Confederacy, they were labeled as our wayward brothers, like very small. But the West Point itself made a conscious effort to assert themselves as a part of the Union. So they took the portraits down. There were no commemorations, if you will, of the generals of the Confederacy. It was during the 1900s where we had that lost cause situation. Again, the rewriting of the history of the Civil War. That's why some people say, well, this was about states' rights. That is a lie that transformed into the lost cause, which now people were literally learning in schools across the country. Well, it was during that time where then this thing about the Confederate generals popped up again in West Point and other places. In recent years, West Point has made a concerted effort to teach the history of their organization and their entity in this country, and they talk about the Confederacy and the Confederates in a historical way. This ain't that. This is like revisionist history and propping them up.
Well, from my perspective, it's less revisionist history and more continued acceptance of a history that defined America in a different way. In other words, we're commemorating men, soldiers, business people, those who upheld an idea of America that it should own other people, those who fought for that. And they were so adamant about it that they committed treason. And we lose sight of that fact. There is, in my estimation...
Well, to be clear, we have not lost sight of that.
No, we have not lost sight of that. That is a 400-year story that continues to be told, despite the fact that there are a number of folks in our communities and in our country who don't want us to tell it. But we're going to tell it anyway. And so you can put your portraits up. You can make yourself feel good because you're looking at Robert E. Lee and you're going to Robert E. Lee High School and you're driving on Robert E. Lee Highway, right? But it doesn't erase the fact that what Robert E. Lee was and what he represents.
I guess it is concerning because it changes...
treason against the country. That is no different than what happened in that building across the street.
Yeah, that's true.
On January 6th.
That's true.
No damn difference.
But see, if they started putting up portraits of the January 6ers, it is trying to change the narrative.
It's trying to change the narrative, but it doesn't change
what happened.
It doesn't change what happened. What Robert E. Lee and others fought for then was wrong. And they took the country to war over it, and they lost. And we have been in that fight ever since, commemorating the losers, the treasonous, right? That's what Trump wants us to do. That's why he pardoned them. That's why he's giving them the green light, right? So we need to be honest about that arc, in my estimation.
And I don't think we've ever actually reckoned with the history of this country
with the Civil War
and the Civil War, because I mean, the people that sided with the Confederacy, they got their seats back in Congress, they got their land back.
10
they
years
never
later,
went to jail, just like the January 6th.
And 10 years later, Reconstruction was over.
Oh yeah, it was over. It was like
Crow.
didn't happen.